Hello, everyone. Welcome to a little mini segment of Snap on Ego. My name is Brad, otherwise known as Bradsford, and I'm joined by Chris Bootman Boutte. Hello. We have news.
Hello.
We have
We got some
news.
exciting stuff.
We literally just dropped a new episode yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to share
Yeah,
some news with you if you haven't seen it yet. But if you had already seen it, we're also here to gloat a teeny bit.
just a little
So
bit. Like
just a
a
little,
lot of bit.
teeny
Because
tiny bit.
because we just got the announcement for Spotlight caches. All right, so we're going to dive into it. TLDR before we gloat. It's very good for you. Everybody's been complaining about card acquisition, and what have they been saying, Brad? For months now, they've been saying, "Hey, we're working on it. We're working on something." And everybody's like, "Oh, that's what
Soon.
you always say. That's what you always say. You never give us anything." Right? And we're like, hey,
Yeah.
let's get a little positivity, right? Let's quit the complaining a little bit. Give them a little bit of grace, and hopefully they're working on something. You know, like how do you think the community is reacting to this after this news, Brad? Do you think they're as excited as we are, or do you think they're going to find things to pick apart with this?
As always, there will be something to pick apart when it comes to these kind of announcements, even though they're for the benefit of pretty much everybody. Um, so yeah, I think I would like to think that the community is going to be overwhelmingly positive about it. Like think of the Steam charts, right? When you see the Steam reviews and it's like positive, overwhelmingly positive, like mixed, that kind of thing. I
Yeah,
feel like this should be an overwhelmingly positive reaction. There's
yeah,
some random people being like, I put in 30 hours in this game, it fucking sucks. Like that kind of thing. Dude, isn't that
yeah.
your favorite genre of negative reviews for like Steam games where it's like, this game fucking sucks, don't play it? And it's like, look at their profile and it's like 400 hours played. And you're like, what are you
What?
doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of games where I play them for like 5 minutes and I never touch them again. But like, yeah, the thing is because we talked about this in our episode. There's been data mines of other seasons with straight to Series 4 cards and stuff
Yep.
like that. And the Spotlight Cache, like it's set it like everything was being set up, everything was planned out. And that's what we keep trying to tell people too. Like Second Dinner isn't just like coming up with this stuff on the fly. Like we talked about this with the Darkhawk bundle yesterday, right? Like they plan things out in advance. Some things are a little bit sooner, right? But this system, like we know how long developers take. This must have been in the work for a long time. But I guess we should, so you guys all understand in case you're not caught up with the news. So anyways, the Spotlight Cache system, in short, it's a brand new thing on the collector's track, all right? Where now it says Spotlight Cache system will appear after you've passed collection level 500, and it's going to replace collector's caches and reserves every 120 collection levels. And with this, you're going to be getting new cards, Series 4 and Series 5 cards, and they're guaranteed like every what is it, four? Like every
110. 100
yeah,
it's yeah, 110 collection levels. It's every 4 reserves. No, is it every 10 reserves? 10
yeah,
reserves. Because that
yeah,
averages to around 110 collection level.
yeah.
120,
So
something like that.
sorry, cat was jumping up on the thing, but yeah. So everybody's gonna be getting new cards. That's like the number one complaint. Everybody's like, new cards, card acquisition sucks. We need new cards. So this means when there are cards that are gonna be straight to Series 4, you can bank up these reserves. And we'll kind of go over that. So we were privy to a Q&A with the dev team. That's why we have
Yeah.
this information so quick, because there's gonna be a lot of questions about this. So they Second Dinner, they'll have a little bit more information about how this is going to work, because a lot of these questions are going to be, and our Q&A was like massive, so we picked out a few that we think are important. But yeah, there's going to be some changes to acquiring gold and tokens. All this stuff is going to decrease. In short, all that stuff's going to decrease, but you want cards. Everybody wants cards. Do you want credits? Do you want gold? No, you want cards. And if you start saying, "Oh, I like the gold instead," stop it. Just stop it. All right. So the first part of the Q&A is So someone asked, for free-to-play players that want a specific new card being added into the game that month, the best strategy seems to be to save your caches until you can get 4 spotlight caches at once to quote unquote guarantee the new card. Is this system designed to encourage this behavior, or was there a design focus on trying to use your spotlight cache every week? So Second Dinner answered and they said, our goal is to get more cards and more variety of cards to more players. If we see that player behavior is leading down a path where players aren't actually opening caches to get more cards, or everyone has the same cards, we want to make improvements to the system in different ways. So it sounds like it sounds like we might have been right about something else, Brad, that they were worried about people hoarding tokens, because now they're talking about their concern that people are going to hoard caches. What are your thoughts on that question and answer right there?
I mean, the concern of hoarding tokens and hoarding caches is an interesting one because yeah, it creates this like mentality of long term you'd lose player retention, right? Because these people that are hoarding caches and stuff are probably just doing their dailies and just like getting enough to get the tokens and stuff, and then not enjoying new cards unless they naturally got them through the track, but they're not getting
Mhm.
them because they're hoarding everything, right? So this is a negative for Second Dinner, and I think this is a great way to like this overall change to Spotlight is a great way to attack both avenues of this, which they'll have to look at the data and see if people hoard the caches, right? But for now, the hoarding tokens thing can seemingly be somewhat solved because now because you have guaranteed rolls at cards for Series 4 and
Yeah.
Series 5, that's going to help people just like let go of some tokens, maybe even spend them on variants. I actually might buy my first Ultimate variant now. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. No, I was just, yeah, dude, I have like 20 something thousand tokens saved up. Like, so I didn't, this was the first Tuesday I didn't get the token Tuesday just because they upped the price and like it's not as
yeah.
good of a value anymore. I'm like, I got plenty of tokens. I'll just do this later. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, yeah, now we might get like some ultimate variants, but yeah, so I was just thinking about it, right? Like, because I'm always trying to put myself in Second Dinner shoes. And so my son, for example, he's going on a trip, his first like out of town school trip type thing to Washington, D.C. And every now and then I have to give him money to like go somewhere and like, hey, in case you need some cash. So like on the trip, what if every time I did that, my son didn't spend the money and he just pocketed it? He's like, oh no, dad, I just didn't spend it. I'm just gonna keep it. I'd be like, no, give me my money back. You know what I mean? And it's like Second Dinner just keeps giving stuff and then they have to worry about people hoarding it. I just don't get what the fear is. Like, have you guys never bought something in your life that you regretted? I know we don't like doing that, but it's like something that like replenishes, these tokens, now these reserves, they're going to replenish. But anyways, everybody, Second Dinner said straight up that if you start hoarding caches, they will make adjustments to the system. So don't
Yeah.
screw the rest of us. Like use them, open them, get some cards. Well, let me ask you this, Brad. Why would somebody hoard these reserves? Like, do people not want new cards? Like, are they worried that they'll get
So
like a
I
snow guard
think
or a less played card or something?
I think that they're gonna look at like maybe like what the featured cards are as well as what the spotlight card is, and be like, okay, is it worth it to like to try and pull my luck out of these right now, or maybe I have a couple of these cards we wanted to be a featured like we wanted to be 2 featured cards and 1 spotlight card of like things that I've pretty much I don't have any of these, and
Yeah,
then crack a bunch of like reserves in a row and just wipe that clean and then get a couple of variants, I guess too. I
yeah,
guess that'd be the idea. But honestly, look, I've always been against hoarding stuff in games in general. Like it's a game, it's not
yeah,
real. Do what
yeah,
you want with it in that sense, like have fun. But you see like a lot of content creators like even like say like, hey, prior to series drops and stuff like that, when we had the scheduled ones, you should hoard your reserves so you can get a better chance to pull them and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I guess, but like I don't know, like it's what's the fun in that, or like it just it I understand it from a logical standpoint of like why people do it. I do, but like my heart's like it feels against the grain too much of like what the intention is.
yeah.
Um, but whatever, who cares? Do what you want, but understand that this might get changed. Now,
Yeah.
how do you think they would change it? Because my first thought is like every time you level up into your collection track, it just auto adds it to your collection. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. They would that's my first idea of like if I was secondary and I
Yeah,
had to fix
yeah,
this
it's almost
hoarding
like they would
idea.
have to change the economy, right? Because your collection track is leveled up via credits and upgrading your cards, right? So they'd almost have to get rid of the credit system where you get like boosters and it automatically levels up your collection. Yeah, like maybe take away your agency on what cards get boosted. I don't know. And then like you would that's something you could do. And then people could choose what cards they split, but cards would automatically level up and random. Yeah, you guys just open your damn reserve so we don't even got to go through these thought experiments, you know? But I'll tell you what bumps me out as we're talking about this. I have always said because a lot of creators were like, yeah, we want more people to get more cards and stuff. Like that's the soapbox all the other creators stand on. Like, I want more people to get access to more cards. And it's like, why? Like for me, it's I want more people to have more cards so we get more innovation. You and I have talked about how like the deck building could get very boring and just everybody's playing these meta
Absolutely.
decks. If more people get more cards, people will make random decks. Dude, I went on Untap today. So I got the Venomized Ghost variant. I needed boosters for her. So I'm like, I'm gonna try different ghost decks. I found
Ghost
some
Spider. Ghost
random
Spider, by the way,
Ghost
not just
Spider.
Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost Spider. Sorry. I had somebody yell at me on Twitter. Why'd you call this deck Ghost In? I'm like, cause Ghost Spider. But yeah. But anyways, I went on Untap, find a random deck. I didn't really like it too much. I did a couple tweaks, and I have just been wrecking fools. I'll make a video on it soon. But yeah, it's been dope. So, anyways, if everybody's just doing the herd mentality and just listening to creators about what the best cards are, like just open your reserves. Maybe you'll find out Stegron's the best card in the game. Maybe you'll find something broken with Snowguard that we're all afraid to try. You know, like I don't want people sitting around because it also makes me think like, are data mines like one of the worst things for this game? Because people are able to look 2 months in advance and say, oh no, I'm saving all my tokens for this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that that kind of sucks, even though the data mines are very exciting. You know what I mean? But they might be changing that because did you see how the devs trolled us?
Yeah, with the Loki thing, the
Yeah, with the
Hercules.
Loki. Maybe they'll just start doing that. That's another way to solve it. Like, sorry.
Yeah. Like create like hidden assets, I suppose. Like yeah, I don't know. It sucks because like it's that idea of all it takes is one person to ruin it for everybody. Like when I was in high school, and there was a class I had to take that was called team sports, and there's three of them. So you could take the back to back to back, and it was an elective. And one thing that the coach liked to do for team sports every year, he would try it, was dodgeball. And he's like, okay, rules are very simple: no headhunting and no complaining. That's it. If you're called out, you're out. If you aim for someone's head on purpose and like try to give them basically a concussion because it
Yeah.
fucking will, then we're gonna stop playing. And what happens every year without fail? All 4 years I was there, all 4 years on the first day, first game, one kid fucking just goes as ham as he possibly could, right for someone's dome, and they're like, nope, nope, we're done. It just takes one person to ruin shit, and like
Yeah.
it happens in everything. So don't be
Yeah.
that fucking kid
Yeah,
trying to give
don't be
everyone just
that guy. Don't
concussions.
be the dodgeball guys. All
Yeah,
right. But one of the next questions was it's kind of similar to this. Someone asked, what happens to banked caches and reserves when the change happens? So if you're banking your reserves right now, all right, when this happens. By the way, this wasn't in the Q&A questions we listed, but this is launching on the next patch. So the July
yeah,
patch, this is coming. So if you start saving your collector's reserves right now, they said any banked collector's caches or reserves will be turned into spotlight caches at the appropriate rate once the new system is live. So if you want to start hoarding now, go for it. All right, and then have a big old opening party. Join us creators, start a YouTube channel, open all your freaking caches. Like, dude, if somebody, okay, let's imagine this. Like, what I wouldn't give. You know how, like, when you get older, you're like, man, I wish I was a kid again. Like, what I wouldn't give to be, like, brand new Series 3 complete when this launches. I would open up 1,000 of those things, right?
yeah.
Like, you just start getting a bunch of Series 4 cards and all sorts of stuff. Um, I don't know. Sounds like it'll be a fun time. That's what I would do. What would you do? Are you gonna, are you gonna save reserves? Because you don't need that many cards either, do you?
No, I'm not. I'm just missing at the moment Stegron, Howard, and Tribunal. Those are the only ones I'm missing, and I'm gonna get 2099 next week when he drops. And probably by the time 2099 drops, my pity time will probably hit on Stegron anyway. So, you know,
Yeah. So we'll see.
and I don't
What's gonna
give any shit about Howard and Tribunal, so I'm not even worried about those at the moment.
just take Howard. I need to try a Howard deck because Howard's dope.
I'm not spending
Uh,
6,000 on him. I'll wait for a spotlight cash to pull him. Look at that.
what's gonna be your plan like with Series 4 drops? We talked a little bit about this right before, but
Mhm.
like, because I'm thinking I just save all my reserves in between weeks. You know what I mean? Like between the releases and just see what happens. And then if I'm like, really want the card, then I buy it with tokens after I open all my stuff, like between Tuesday and Tuesday or whatever.
I guess we got to wait and see how this ends up working in practice versus on paper, right? Like I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I'm in a position that's similar to what I am now, and like I'm just like I have everything except for a handful of cards I wasn't interested in the first place because I can target the
Yeah.
ones I really want with the token shop, and then randomly pull other ones that I was like semi interested in through the spotlights now. Because I don't know about you, but I climb through like 120 collection levels or whatever it is, like almost like every couple of days.
Yeah,
It
I
feels.
don't even keep track. I'm just sitting there like right now. I'm trying to get Stegron too. Like right now, my collection level is almost 11,200. But yeah,
Mine's
I'll fly through them. I have an excess of
8,500.
gold right now, so I'm just like I like bought like a 500 credit pack just to level up um my venomized ghost spider and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I should keep better track of that. But
I
that
mean,
also brings
I
us.
was
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was just at the what was it I pulled Howard at? It was 7,666. Not Howard, I'm sorry,
Howard? No,
Iron Lad. Iron Lad.
Iron Lad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm at 8,500. So I've already
Oh,
jumped up 1,000 in that time basically, or I'm actually
yeah.
above that now. So I'm pretty much yeah, I jumped 1,000.
Yeah, I've definitely slowed down now that I have almost all the cards. I used to do it almost like compulsively. Maybe that's my addict behavior. Like, because I was like, maybe this will be a new card. Oh no, and then I'll go
Yeah.
buy some credits. I'm like, maybe this will be a new card. But now that I have like most of the cards, like I've chilled out, but I'm still trying to get Stegron. But anyway, this next question is kind of for those of us who are almost collection complete, whatever. The question is, what happens if you open a Spotlight Cache and you already have all the featured cards and variants? So Second Dinner replied and said, if you have all featured cards and variants, the featured cards will be replaced by premium mystery variants instead. And all of you who are like, oh no, pixel variants, calm down for just a second. All right, it says you also will still have the 1 in 4 chance to get a random Series 4 or 5 card in every Spotlight Cache refresh. If you open a random Series 4 or Series 5 cards that you already own, you will get a premium mystery variant instead. And then they put in parentheses, premium mystery variants equal super rare or rare variant, but not pixel. They actually capitalize not pixel. These are a
Right.
new variant type that will be releasing at the same time as Spotlight Cache. So they're making it so you cannot get a pixel if you were supposed to get a premium mystery variant. So there you go. That is solved. But you know what? There's going to be people pissed about that, right? Like
I
there's
want a
some like
pixel.
there's some pixel obsessed people out there. Did you watch Ben Brode's when Cozy had Ben Brode on
I
just
did.
like a week ago?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah. Ben Brode was like saying that there's people who like beg for him and stuff. Like, what are you doing a
Well,
pixel for
dude,
this? So
there are some pixels like they just released the Hobgoblin pixel like what a few days ago, maybe last week, and like I've seen that thing for fucking ever. And like the both the Hobgoblin and the Green Goblin pixels actually look really good in my
oh
opinion.
yeah, the Green
I
Goblin one.
like
Yeah,
them.
that's not bad. I actually rock the Odin pixel variant. I'm like, this
Me
isn't as bad as
too. Hey,
I'm
me
like,
too.
yeah. Oh yeah, that Hobgoblin's not terrible. I think yeah, it's almost like they're upgrading a little bit to like from 16 to maybe like 32 bit,
Yeah.
or
Or
something like
give me that 64-bit, please.
yeah, there's like a little bit more detail. Yeah, this Hobgoblin doesn't look bad. Some of them are legit. Some of them I don't mind too much. I used the Agent Coulson pixel variant forever until I got
No,
the Chibi.
I use the Noir. It's too good.
Oh yeah, the
Too
Noir.
good.
Yeah,
Same
if
thing
I
with
got that
Riel.
for free,
Mm.
I would use it. Um, What was this? Okay. So this is about the new flexible series drops. So since flexible series drops are here to stay, are there any more details that can be discussed on which cards stay up and or in series and which ones will drop besides pick rate and power level? Are there other factors at play? It would be helpful for players to be able to predict which cards are likely to move down, even if it's different from the old rigid structure. All right, very nicely worded. But before I get to their answer, just, I don't know, man. Like, just my whole thing is I just don't mind flexible series drops. I think they should have started with that before the scheduled ones and people would have chilled out a little bit, but whatever.
It's because
Um,
I mean, it's that issue of setting forth false expectations, right?
yeah,
The expectations you set for people are going to determine how they react to things. I mean, anyone who's worked in sales or customer service or anything like
yeah,
that can tell you that. Like, if you set forth a bad expectation, especially if you have like to your boss or like to someone that's a client, where you have to deliver something to them, and you come up short of that expectation or change it in a way that's negatively perceived, you're fucked.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's how
That's
that
that.
works.
Yeah, they got to start with the bad stuff and then change it. But anyways, but now that people can like get these cards more often, like I just don't think it's a huge deal. But anyways, they answered, we're gonna need some time with the feature live, the spotlight caches, to
Hmm.
understand exactly how this system affects the speed of series drops. Cards will drop to series 3 less often than in the past to keep the system supplied, but we will also continue launching 1/3 of our new cards straight to Series 4. So, hey, at least we got an answer on that. 1/3 of all the cards will go straight to Series 4. And tuning how quickly we can drop Series 5 cards to Series 4. So, like, yeah, so we're still going to be getting tokens. It's not going to be as quick. There's some other Q&A stuff that I'm sure some creators will cover. Like, um it's gonna be going to like something low. It's like 100 like to 50 or something like that, just something weird and low. But you're
Yeah.
gonna be opening cards more regularly. So I don't know. That's not a huge deal. Like I think a lot of the complaints are gonna be for people who are towards the end game, but I just think that we've argued for way too long for newer players, free to play players to have more ways to get cards, right? Like so it kind of there's like that give and take, you know?
Yeah, like this overall change isn't going to do a whole lot for players like you and myself, to be
Hmm.
honest. Like people that have mostly all the cards, are missing a very small handful. Like pretty much any content creator, right? But here's the thing: you know why I don't give a shit about that is because we're literally in this economy the 1%, like in this sense,
Yeah.
and I am against supporting the 1% more so than the masses, unlike
Exactly.
some other you know, day to day relations and real life shit going on. So, in this sense, I don't give a shit. I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy with where I am as far as my card collection is. And this is just going to make it so I can better target what I want and then incidentally get stuff down the road. For everyone else that's in that series, 2.5, like they're partway through series 3, that kind of thing. And maybe they have a lot of stuff for their destroy deck and like they just got venom and they're fine and they got deadpool earlier, so they're finally all series 3 cards right for that particular deck. They're not done with series 3 yet, but then they roll a spotlight cash and it's like, hey, I pulled null. That's
Hmm.
sick. Like you didn't have to worry about the 10% bullshit thing of regular reserve, which by the way is the 10% slash 5% thing still in a regular collection reserve for
I don't
series 4 and
know. I
series
don't
5, or are they
I
getting
don't
rid of
know if
that?
somebody I don't know if somebody asked that,
That should have been
possibly.
my question. That's
Yeah.
whoops, I fucked up.
I
I
think
had
we were
asked a
all like
single
thinking
question.
of stuff like after. Like they answered us pretty quick. It was within like the day or something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Like those of us who are in the that top 1 to 10% of players, like yeah, I don't care. Plus, I've always said this too. I take the money that I make from the YouTube channel, I reinvest it in this, and I have a full-time job. So like it doesn't matter. Like I was just thinking about it, like worst case scenario, I buy a damn card, what I've been doing, you know?
Yeah.
But now from what it sounds like is um I have more of a chance of opening up a brand new card, saving some tokens, and and we're having the whole weekend missions thing, right? Where that's going to
True.
range from anywhere from like 1 to 500 to 1,000 tokens. Like those are rebates, baby. Those are rebates.
Which
I'm
we
just,
still haven't gotten yet, by the way.
yeah, maybe this weekend with the ham. But
Well,
yeah, I'm just going to
maybe at
be,
the time of this releasing, we've received it. I don't know.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows?
But yeah, I'll be bummed if people are like, well, no, the end game players. It's like, just shut your mouth. The last question on this list was with token this is asked weird. With token from the collection, with tokens from the collection track being reduced to 400 tokens per month, or 1,200 if you have all series 3 cards. So like we said, the token acquisition is going to be a little bit different. And there also being no gold available from the track, are there other ways being added to help players gain back resources or bundles and tokens, or for bundles and tokens for the token shop? So this is kind of what we're talking about. So here's what Second Dinner said. We are excited about Spotlight Cash bringing more cards and more variety of cards to more players. We will continue to observe player behavior with the new card acquisition system and make adjustments through systems like weekend missions to respond to changes in gold and token economy. It is our hope that the generosity of the system will reduce the frequency with which players even feel compelled to use Token Shop for new cards. That should feel like a rare treat in this world rather than the default. So yeah, that's a good point about the weekend missions, but they're talking about adjusting the economy. Like if they notice that a ton of people not having gold is going to affect their ability to get some of these new bundles that are gold rather than cash or whatever, they're going to maybe adjust the weekend missions or tweak things so people can actually earn these. So they're going to keep an eye on it, which,
Keep in
let's say,
mind,
huh?
not to cut you off, but keep in mind when it comes to the medals rewards, they're going to be constantly updating that, so we might get more
Oh yeah,
tokens
yeah.
in that as well for conquest. Maybe they have more gold stuff. Maybe they adjust the prices of the medals. Because right now, I don't know about you, I've been grinding the fuck out of it the last couple of days just so I get
Yeah.
the medals, right?
Yeah, I
Which
have.
thank
Yeah,
you, Second Dinner, for giving me the 3 gold tickets so I can just burn through those real quick today and just at
right.
least get 60 every time I re-upped it.
Yeah, I well, and then they turn into random boosters. Like I have over 1,000 medals now, and I have like a dozen like gold tickets. So I'm gonna,
Gonna have to get all those boosters at least for
yeah,
Goblin, I guess. I don't
they're
know.
just gonna turn into random boosters. Yeah, or the goblin boosters. But I think I already have an insane amount of goblin boosters, just
Yeah, and
because
I
I
don't even level
never
him
split them.
beyond green. I just
Yeah,
don't. Hobgoblin, and Green Goblin, neither of them I've ever any of my variants I've ever even hit infinite with them.
yeah,
Both of them I have respectively like 500 and like 400 boosters for them because I just don't level them beyond that first
yeah.
one because I'm like it's green,
Yes.
it matches.
Didn't they have like a leak for the next? Yeah, they did for the next metal shop next month. That was in one of the data mines. I forgot which card was it.
I didn't look at
It-
it. I'm not a. Here's the thing, I don't mind data mines for cards, okay, because they're subject to change and stuff like that. However, the thing that I do mind are data mines for bundles for the most part because I get being able to plan around like buying stuff, and I've done this myself. Looked at upcoming bundles coming up ahead and be like, oh, I'm definitely getting that one, right? But the difference is the bundles you do do not they can't really change last second kind of thing. Like they can't like hot fix a bundle at based on their current technology for their OTAs and all that. But they can
yeah,
hot fix cards before they're released, that kind of thing. So I don't know. The bundle data mine is weird because I don't know. Maybe it's just my brain. It's just like I don't like it for some reason. I like to be surprised and have my reaction come out like ahead of time. Because like look at the Darkhawk bundle for example. I don't do you because the Darkhawk discourse was a slow burn of just constant anger throughout the entirety. It was data mined like a month prior. People were
yeah,
upset and like would constantly kind of touch on it for the next like few weeks. Then it dropped and it had the 3x thing on it. So then people definitely fucking went ham. Like it drew out this discourse and people being upset for way too long.
yeah,
Whereas if it just dropped and no one knew about it, they'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" And then they'd be done with it for like after a week. And
yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
don't want to hear about it the entire time.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because for the August data mines, and I think Second Dinner is just wising up to this. The August data mines, anything that's a cash value, it's not there. There's no information on the cash value. Only the ones that are gold. So,
Yeah.
but even still, like people can look at that and be like, oh my god, because you can like equate like the gold value or whatever. But
Well, the
here's the
gold
only
value is
thing
almost
that
always worth it. Like, I mean, at least from a credit standpoint, and stuff. Like even like that, I didn't think it was very good of a bundle. What was the lizard one, the lizard mech, the mech,
bring
the
the pain one.
Kurt
That was
mech
like one of the
Connors or
best
whatever?
deals. That was one of the best deals ever. The bring
It
the
was
pain bundle.
4,500 gold, right?
Mhm.
Which how much would that? So 4,500 gold.
It's like
If you
50
divide that,
bucks.
if you divide that by buying the 500 credits over and over again, which is 400 each, right? And you got
Mhm.
5,500 credits, right, in that bundle. Was that it? 5,500, I believe.
Hold on, I got it right here.
So that's
You got oh crap, no, it left the shop. It left the shop. I
damn.
just gave one away, but it's somewhere.
Yeah, it was like 5,500 credits, and then it was so fucking 500 divided or 55 divided by 500. So that's 11 times uh, 4. That's 44. So yeah, 4,400 gold is what you would get normally just by spending the 500 to get that amount of credits. So you basically paid 100 extra gold for the variant and then the boosters. So that one, even though that was like one of the quote unquote worst values from an optics standpoint, it was still pretty solid value. Like typically, what I'm saying is like the long-winded way of saying the gold ones, the ones you buy for gold, like the Sandman one, for example, those are typically pretty good value. It's the monetary ones where it's like $30 straight up for the Dark Oak one, or even $20 for this one that came out the other day. Yesterday, the Venom and Carnage
Yeah,
one. It's those people think are a little less, but even that one's good. That one's good. It's 2,000 gold for
yeah.
20
Well,
bucks.
like yeah, the bring the pain one, like so in the app, it's $50 for 3,850 gold. Like I buy gold regularly. Like I'll just like once a month I'll drop like $100 for like extra gold and whatever. So
Yeah,
this is $50 for 3,850. That one was $30. I got 4,000 gold in a couple variants. So I'm like, screw it. But yeah, the even the Venom and the Carnage one too. I was like, oh, this is like
it's
a little
really
bit better
just that
than
Darkhawk one where they dropped the ball. Honestly, it
yeah,
really, honestly,
yeah. Just let it. But then they came out with this Arrow bundle, which is insane, right?
yep,
That
yep.
thing's
Well,
$5.
I would like more of those. We haven't had one like that since the well, we had the Pride Month one, where those two variants, right? And then we had the
Yeah,
one before that was the Jubilee Chinese New Year one, which
yeah,
by the way is still my favorite Jubilee variant.
yeah. I still that's the one I rock. But yeah, this one's $5 for a sick Arrow variant, 500 gold and 500 credits with the boosters in the avatar. And by the way, I'm giving away 10 of those because we just hit 10,000 subscribers, baby.
What? Why
So
aren't you
yeah.
giving me? I already bought it. Give me one.
You already bought it. You're SOL.
Fuck.
But yeah. So, but
I'm
here's the
taking
thing.
IOU.
Here's the thing. Like as we're talking about this, and like the other players, the 90% of players are getting helped out, but this this does change, like, 'cause- like people being able to get those gold bundles, the ones that are worth
Yeah.
gold. So that is like the one downside. But I would say like, listen, I know that sucks, but like cards are what win games. You know what I mean? Like variants don't win games, cards win
No, I
games.
agree. I will say
So
there's still a few quality of life changes I would like to see moving forward. Again, the way I responded to the news of this spotlight thing initially was this is a great step forward. It's not the end all be all answer. It's a great step forward. There's other things they need to keep doing, right? I think eventually you're going to reach a plateau point where the majority of the player base is seriously complete and like in the same area that we are for the most part, or at least closer to that. And we'll see how this changes that landscape because with the token change a teeny tiny bit, we'll see how that balances out. Maybe they need to revisit the acquisition again to make it better for players that are in like the position that are seriously complete. But until we get to that point, I'd like to see things like if I buy a variant from the shop, right? I drop 700 gold or 1,200 gold. You know what I should get immediately? 155 boosters with that variant. instantly. I don't know why
Yeah.
that's not a thing. The fact that boosters they should just give them out because honestly, they already do for bundles. If you think about it, buying a single variant in itself should be treated like buying a little bundle. I'm dropping $10 to $20 on a fucking single variant essentially.
Yeah.
I should get instantaneously 155 boosters, like stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That would make
and then
sense.
same thing with like the reward track for like Infinite and stuff. They should beef up some of those. Like instead of it just being a single reward, like you hit 90, get 500 gold.
Yeah. It
Okay,
should be like a little gift basket.
yeah,
That's what
give
I've
me
always thought.
500 gold and then give me like a mystery variant on top of it. Like or even if every single one of these was just like main reward plus 100 boosters to a random card. Main reward, 100 boosters to a random card every single time. That would be fine because again, I don't boosters to me are really this weird currency in the game that isn't even a currency. Also, I've seen people suggest, and I've voiced this before as well, universal boosters that just you choose where
Yeah,
they go.
universal or targeted. They said, like, I swear they said it was like on the roadmap for targeted ones. Like right now, I'm trying
They
to get
got rid of it.
boosters.
No, they said no more
Oh, is that?
because remember when that it was on the old roadmap, right? But then they
Oh
released that
man.
change of like the double booster thing of like the ones that you have less upgrade. Like it's supposed to prioritize that a bit more, but I don't think that's good enough. I think we need genuine targeted boosters.
Yeah, no, it's annoying because like variants are just like a new thing that I'm into, and just like, dude, last night I played for hours. Just like I said, I was testing out Ghost Spider decks. I was playing for hours just to get boosters, and like when you play like conquest mode is cool because all the boosters go to one card. But when it's
Yeah.
not the card you want, you're like mother. So, but I was also just thinking, even though they're decreasing the gold, like there's still ways to earn gold through through ranked, through your season pass, you know. So it's not going to be an insane amount of gold, but like I don't even know how much gold I was getting on the collection track, anyways. Like every now and then I'll get like 200 or whatever, so it's not
Yeah,
like a
it
huge
was
amount.
very rare. It's like a
Yeah,
really low roll of like getting gold
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I think the biggest hit's going to be tokens, but you shouldn't need as many tokens with how this is going. So, anyways, to wrap this thing up, like what are you going through this the Q&A, what are your hopes for like the community reaction, or what are your predictions? Like we're going to release this with every other creator. Do you think they're going to be happy, salty? Are they gonna be like, you know what, we're going to back off second dinner for a little bit because this is awesome? Where do you think people are going to land?
I think again, same thing. It will be overwhelmingly positive amongst creators, but there of course will be a handful that will inevitably say something that saying like, it's fine, it's just not good enough. And again, I think here's my thing with that. And I made the tweet about it, and like I got called out on shit, whatever. But criticism is good. If you are in the boat, if you are in the opinion that hey, this is a great step forward, but they still need to do more, then I can agree with you on that. Absolutely, I can agree with you. If you voice it in that way, saying, let's acknowledge this is a positive, but hey, I'd like to see them do this, this, and this. I'll
Yeah,
listen to you. I admire that type of criticism. Where I do get upset with content creators is when they say, this is a joke. You
yeah,
should be
it was the worst thing
insulted.
to happen.
You should be insulted that they're doing this to you. I'm insulted on behalf of all the other players when they use that kind of word, and that's why I called it scare tactics and fear mongering. And there are some creators that are like, haha, it's not fear mongering, whatever. And I'm like, well, why'd you reply if you didn't feel like it was you that's doing this? But it is. Language
Yeah,
is important. When you purposely use language like this is a joke, this like you should be insulted, like words that basically insinuate a very overwhelmingly negative connotation to the reaction, you're trying to incite a response from your community.
yeah.
That's fear mongering, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like in the last episode, they call us influencers for a reason, and we set the tone. So I guess my concern is like people sometimes, especially you see this with like, tribalism, right? Like people wait to see how the group's reacting to see how they
Mhm.
should react, right? You inform, like, I'll let you inform how I should be. And it's like, no, hey, you guys, be independent thinkers. Like, do you think this is a joke? Cool. Come to it on your own conclusion. I'm sure there's things that Brad and I aren't seeing. Like, that's why I like getting different perspectives. That's why I like hearing criticisms and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. If you're somebody who's been dying to get more cards, like this is your chance. Like
It
this
is,
is your
yeah.
chance to do it, Um, and yeah, so I'm hoping we'll see second dinner said in this Q&A they're looking to change stuff, but also um like people need to realize that it's almost like balance changes. Glenn says this like fucking constantly. Like a card's out for like a minute and people like, is this card broken? Are you gonna do something about it? And he's like, bro, we need data. Like we need some kind of data. You know what I mean? So like even if this whole spotlight thing is like there's some unforeseen consequences of them making this change, it's gonna take them a minute. It's gonna take at least a month. So
Yeah.
mentally prepare yourself, right? Like don't start bitching like they're just gonna flip a switch tomorrow. Like they've been working on this for probably at least a month or two, like at least, right? If they launch it and the first week is a mess, it's gonna take them a minute to like turn some knobs and like switch shit. So just give them a second. And I would argue that it's better that they're at least trying things, right? Rather than, because I've heard in other gaming communities, like they're just like, no, like whatever you guys are saying, like, hey, that's fine. Like, we don't care. Like, whatever, we're making our money. So they are doing things, and they're doing things that we don't even hear of. So I don't know. I don't know. Be patient with them. That's all I got.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this little emergency mini segment of Snap on Ego. Now, the question is, Chris, do we actually mark it as an episode, like episode number 12, for example, or do we say 11.5?
At 11.5, I like that.
Perfect. Look at that.
There you go.
Solved it
You
immediately.
guys are part of the creative process. But yeah, and just hey, whatever you do when you leave here, just don't forget Brad and I are right. Just about a lot of things. We should just change the podcast to just like the right guys. The right guys. No, we got a good name, but that would be fun.
It'd be great if we were if we both had the last name Wright, like the Wright brothers. You know?
Hey, we're adults. We can legally change our names. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
Nobody's
maybe
gonna
I
stop
should.
us.
But
Yeah.
we love you all. We
There you go.
appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for, watching the show and listening to us. And of course, as always, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube and all that good stuff at Bradziver. Hey, Chris, where can they find you? Where?
You find me at Bootman MSTZ. Everything's linked down in the description below. If you don't feel like typing in Brad's satanic name, you can just click on his links. They're all down there.
Hey, what is the first thing you see if you click on my profile on Twitter? What is the first thing that's in my bio?
Pentagram?
No, like in my bio itself. Like the first thing I put is I'll let you read it because it looks like you're searching.
I swear I'm not a Satanist. Yeah, sounds like something a Satanist would say.
You got me there. That is true. That is exactly what a Satanist would say.
Some cult.
But hey, again, we appreciate you. If you want to support us even more, we also have Discords in the description as well for both myself and Chris. And, all that good stuff. We love you. You're amazing. Subscribe to Chris so you can get more giveaways and all that good stuff because he gives out a bunch of shit. He is part of the 1%, so you should definitely knock on his door for some money and all that good stuff.
Let me say one last rant. Let me say one last rant, Brad, before we leave. For all the creators making money off their content when they're complaining, oh, these people don't get enough tokens. I'm like, do some fucking giveaways then. With the money that you're making, if you have such a big problem with it, why don't you give away some shit? Give away some shit. These Arrows bundles are $5. I'm giving out 10 of them. That's $50. A grown adult like me who makes some money off YouTube, I can do that no problem. So the next time you see one of your little creator friends bitching about this stuff, leave a comment and say, why don't you do a giveaway? All right, we're done. I'm done, Brad.
I am unsubscribing to you and I'm subbing to Chris Bootman.
The giveaway king.
We love you. We appreciate you. Let our faces shine on you and be gracious to you when we look on you in favor and give you your peace. Amen. Bye-bye. Get the fuck out of here. Peace. We'll see you next week.